Welcome to the third episode of Hot Boxing Talk for 2016. We're going to be speaking to Hayden Jones and Cyril Lahong about South African and international boxing affairs. And we caught up with Warren Joubert, and he's getting ready for his rematch and challenge with Grant Fourie. This is the third episode of Hot Boxing Talk. It is a very sunny day here in Glen Hazel at the Hot Box Gym, and the two gentlemen are joining us here on Hot Boxing Talk, Hayden Jones and Cyril Lahong. Hayden, let me start with you. Jeff Ellis last Sunday put on a great development show at Empress Palace, a family day out, over 1,000 people there, 10 4-rounders and 1 6-rounder, more development show. How did you think that concept worked?
I absolutely love the concept of the development platform where the young guys come through and start making a name for themselves. We need this sort of platform, and what I really enjoyed was there was a few upsets, and that makes boxing great as well.
Do you think this is something that the promoters, specifically, I know Jeff Ellis has alluded to the fact that he'll do it again, but what was the highlight for you of the show?
I think just basically seeing the next generation of talent. It was great fighters. I mean, some of them can go on to become champions. Some of them may not. Some will. So it was a great concept. It was a great concept. Yeah, it's a great concept.
One thing that came under criticism was the matchmaking. Some agree with it, some don't. There were upsets, as you know, and that's great for boxing. What did you think of the matchmaking overall?
Matchmaking overall, there was a few fights which could come into question. Maybe the first fight was a bit of a mismatch, and definitely the supporting main events I thought was a mismatch.
Talking about mismatches, Gennady Golovkin has signed for his new opponents. Guys, what's the guy's name?
Dominic Wade, I think is his name.
Okay, my question is, we all know that this is potentially a mismatch. Who's Dominic Wade?
Look, I don't know who Dominic. Well, the only thing I know about him is he's American.
Call it. How does it go?
I think Golovkin gets him out of there early.
5 rounds or less?
Yeah, probably less.
How frustrating is it for Golovkin, who is not the linear champion, because Canelo is, but regarded as the best middleweight on the planet right now? How frustrating do you think it is for him not to be fighting Canelo?
Well, that's the price of being too good and not being as popular as he probably should be. He should be more popular. He's a knockout artist. He should be on that level, but unfortunately, people can't take that risk because of the money factor, and it all makes sense. But Golovkin definitely deserves to be fighting the best. He is the best middleweight in the world.
So here's a curveball question. You guys asked me not to throw this. Amir Khan beats Canelo. Does he fight Triple G?
I think if Amir Khan does win, it's a long shot, but if he does win, I think Amir Khan just goes back to welterweight, stays away from Golovkin.
Canelo Khan, who wins that fight and how?
Canelo takes it, I think, the middle rounds. Canelo,
just too big and too strong.
Yeah, just too big, too strong.
Call it.
Canelo Alvarez, I said it last week as well, similar to the Danny Garcia fight, where he comes out slick and fast, and Canelo just knocks him.
Listen, it's a foregone conclusion. Golovkin beats this guy, dummy. Does the winner between Canelo and Khan fight Triple G?
No, I'll agree with Cyril as well. With regards to if Khan wins, but if Canelo wins, I also see him ducking Golovkin, because he might just decide to change weight divisions as well.
If Triple G can't get Canelo and he can't get Ward, because Ward is not light heavy, who should he fight and why?
Well, I've heard a rumor that Bernard Hopkins could. I know Bernard Hopkins should be retired, yeah, but it would draw an audience, I think. So it might be a fight worth looking at.
Isn't Bernard Hopkins old enough to be a father?
Yeah, I think old enough to be my grandfather.
And there, we're going to leave it right there. The two gentlemen have spoken right here on Hot Boxing Talk. Okay, so needing no introduction to the Hot Boxing Talk, we are joined by the warrior again, Warren Joubert, ex-South African champion. Does that irritate you to be called ex-South African champion, considering you and Grant put on one heck of a fight last year? How does it feel to be called an ex-champion?
It's not the greatest, but thank God we got the opportunity to redeem ourselves. And I'm ready, should I say, to become the champion again.
Yeah, it was a great fight for 2015. A lot of people felt that it was fight of the year. What's going to be different about this fight compared to the first fight with Grant?
Well, Cole, you and I know we got a different strategy. And I'm just going to bring it a lot more. I'm just going to bring him the fight a lot more. And I don't think that Grant will handle the pressure that I've got to bring this time around.
And the thing is that you and Grant are friends. There was an incident after the fight that you were telling me that someone caused a bit of trouble with your brother, and actually the camaraderie between you and Grant, he actually helped separate,
100%.
which could have been an actual fight.
100% correct. 100%. Hell of a gentleman. And I take my hats off to Grant for that.
So you guys are friends now. You won't be friends for 36 minutes. If the fight goes 12 rounds, you'll be friends afterwards.
100%.
In 20 years' time, let's just say your kids and Grant's kids, you guys are at a family braai. What happens? You guys sit and have a beer and just discuss the wars that you had and so forth?
Definitely.
So, I mean,
like the friends that we are, like you said. Well, those 36 minutes, if it goes the distance, we won't be friends, but thereafter we'll be friends again.
So there's no real smack. I mean, you can't badmouth Grant and say he's this and he's that, because it's not like that.
No, it's not like that. It's actually quite tough that two friends have to fight one another. But hey, this is the hurt game, and we've got to do what we've got to do.
Well, the whole point is that if you don't hurt Grant, Grant's going to hurt you. Because that's boxing.
There we go.
You're quite a ladies' man on Facebook. And you've got a lot of female friends. If the right call comes along right now, would you consider taking that step and
Definitely.
Okay, so that's a message to all the girls watching the Hot Boxing Talk. He's available after his fight. Your favorite South African fighter? Quickly.
I'd say Zolani Tete.
Zolani Tete. Favorite fighter internationally?
At the moment, I'm going to have to go with Kovalev.
Canelo, Golovkin, who wins and why?
Golovkin. Golovkin's just too classy. He's just, in terms of his balance, his weight distribution, he's just too much of a clever fighter, and I think it would be way too smart for Canelo.
He's the warrior. He is the ex-South African champion, possibly could be champion for the second time on the 19th of March. Catch him in Empress Palace. Warren, the Warrior Joubert, talking to us right here on Hot Boxing Talk. Well, that's the end of Hot Boxing Talk, the third episode for 2016. From myself, Colin, Nomaganjani, Nathan, and Hayden Jones, we will see you again next week.